Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your Market Watch sports betting conditions for Tuesday, December 29th. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget you can subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. All right, guys, what we do in this segment here of the Raymond Report, we look at the current market conditions of the sports betting industry. And as you know, I look at things like the stock market here when it comes to sports betting. And this is, I think it's a good money management tip to provide because a lot of times people will be asking, okay, how much do you bet? And you got to have some type of fundamentals and some type of rules on what you bet, right? You can't bet the same amount on every game because every day is not a Picasso, as I say many times in these videos. You got to really know what's coming in. And I say it all the time, and I'll repeat myself. Think like a bookmaker, like my good buddy says, Ross Benjamin. And let's take a look at the market conditions right now in the NBA. Now, looking at the this season, make sure it's the NBA here. Last night, 4-0 for the favorites that came up. So we're in a bull market. 100% of the favorites came in last night. 3-1 to the over. So bullish form last night for the overs, and 2-2 against the spread for the favorites and the underdogs. Now, this is day 6 since the NBA started. Opened up December 22nd. So tomorrow we'll have our 7-day average to come in. And on the 3-day average, and let's take a look at the over-unders and the against the spread. So on the 3-day average for the over-unders, and in order to be a neutral market, the win percentage has to be between 42.8 and 57.1. To be a bull market, 57.2 and 100%. And to be a bear market, 0 to 42.7. Now, people, I say this all the time, right? When you're buying stocks or even if you're trading in cryptocurrency, if you see a stock that's up 15, 17, 20% on the day, you know you're playing with fire if you're going to bet that, right? So take that same mentality, betting with underdogs and favorites, and you want to bet into a neutral market. And the way I recommend is anytime we're on a 3 or 7-day average and we're in a neutral market, then you can bet 10% of your bankroll. But here on the against the spread, so this is for over-unders. So today, I'll my selections on totals, I'll bet 10% of my bankroll because we're in a neutral market. And you got to think of the psychology of it from the sports book and the player's perspective. If the books knows that all the favorites are coming in, they can play around with that line. And just like in the stock market, they'll call that a bull trap, right? You don't want to get trapped. You don't want to get bet into a sucker's line. The same thing with sports betting. Now, looking at the over-unders, the point spread on the 3-day average. Now, on the last couple of days, 5 favorites, 9 underdogs have cashed in. So because that's 33% on the 3-day average, we are in a bear market. So because we're in the bear market, if I'm going to bet the point spread, I'm only going to bet 5% of my bankroll. And to me, it's good, sound money management. And you just don't know. You're playing in the percentages. What if all the underdogs, like look at this. I'm just going to scroll down here. Look at the underdogs in the last 3 days. 8, 15, 17, and 7. All right, 17 and 7 of the underdogs have come in. So what's that old, what's that old saying? What goes up must come down. So that's why for me, we're in a bear market from the point spread for the favorites. So the favorites have only cashed in 33.3% of the time, meaning the underdog has really, paid off in the last 3 days. But again, I'm looking forward to we get to that 7-day average. So this way we got the 7 and 3-day average to compare. And anytime we're in a neutral market, then I'll bet 10% of my bankroll. But because we're in the bearish market on the 3-day average, I'll only bet 5% when it comes to the point spread. Now, let's take a look at what's come in the NBA so far this season. Looking at this point of view right here, straight up, 23-20 for the favorites. But if you remember early in the week, the underdogs were killing it, right? They got off to a hot start, but they're still hot when it point against the point spread. 26-17 for the underdogs, 17-26. So 39.5% of the favorites have come in, 60% so far for the underdogs. Over under always amazed me how they're always on the balance here. 48% of the overs have come in so far this season. So having said that, what has come in so far in the NBA this season? Home underdogs, 57.8% of home underdogs have cashed so far. Anything in yellow, again, is neutral. Red is bad, green is good. Road underdogs, 15-9 so far to start the NBA season, 62.5%. Pick'em to -3, still 20%, 2-8 against the point spread, 40% to the under. so only 40% of the overs come in. Looking for some more green here. Looking for volume, like 4-1's only 5. So here's one. Road underdogs, yeah, it's the same as the opposite of home favorites. And so we're still early in the season, but so I think the main ones to read are the favorites, the home teams, and the road teams to get an indication of what's come in so far. And you got to know what's coming in the market, right? If you don't want to find out 3-4 days later that the underdogs have won 5 days in a row, and you say, why am I betting favorites when I know all the underdogs will come in? And see, with that type of mentality, then you got to reduce your weight. Volatility will kill you, right? You just don't know it's like trying to catch a falling knife. NFL, let's take a look at the NFL so far this season. We're going to see here, go to NFL. I thought I had both of them open, but in the meantime, let's go look at the SBI for the National Football League to see what's come in so far this season. Finally, a neutral market on the totals here. 43.8% of the over came in this week, 56.3% the under, so I call that a neutral market. But if you look at the last 3 weeks for the totals, a bearish market for the over, a bullish market right here, and then neutral. So, man, this is, where do you go, right? It's still, to me, a neutral market on the season. Look at year to date, 49.7, 50.4. I think you can still bet 10% of your bankroll on totals. Coming for the ATS last week of the season, this is a tough one here now because on the season, the favorites have only cashed 45.7, underdogs 52.3, and you're coming off a bull favorites here on the bull market on the favorites, 62.5 of the favorites. In fact, the favorites have won 2 of the last 3 weeks. So, if you're going to bet the side, I would only bet 5% of your bankroll. Let's see if there we go. NFL is up. And we're looking for green or red, right? Look at this. Favorites, again, we talked about this yesterday in the NFL. 5-18-0 to the under of favorites at 10 or more. And looking at home underdogs at 3.5 to 6.5. 20-13 on the season for 60.61%. Road underdogs at 3.5 to 6.5. The over 30-19-1 for 60%. And down here, I thought we had a nice little stat here. Maybe not. No, it was the 10. Yeah, that's right. It was the minus 10 favorites or over. Oh, here it is. 10 or more underdogs. Same thing. 13-0 to the under of 10 or more road underdogs this season. All right, guys, there you have it. That's the market watch today for Tuesday, December 29th. Again, this is a money management edition of the Raymond Report. You have to have some really sound money management. If not, you're going to be broke, or you're just going to be, refueling that bank account each and every week. So it's always important to dedicate a percentage of your bankroll to your sports betting. In the meantime, you can follow us here at atsstats.com. We're on our YouTube channel, The Raymond Report. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.